In Kletka, you play as a convicted criminal. In fact, you are one of the worst kinds of criminals, and the sentence for people like you is being sent to the so-called Gigastructure and descend into the deepest parts of it, and all that while maintaining and feeding a living and hungry elevator. Now the question here is, this is heavily marketed as a multiplayer co-op game, so is this worth playing for a single player? I have spent 3 hours in the demo, and while there are currently a few things missing from the full version, I think I can say that yes, this can be enjoyed even if you play solo, as is sometimes the case. I would actually say it is more enjoyable if you decide to approach this solo, but as always, there are some things to know. When starting the game, there are currently 2 options, which are either joining an already existing session, but in our case, we are of course hosting a new game and set it to private. Once that is done, there is no such thing as character creation. Your criminal is randomly created for you, and you will always start with 3 crimes that you have committed. These crimes, as surprising as it sounds, actually give you some positive traits for your character. From there, it is rather straightforward. Feed the elevator with either body parts of your enemies or the classic fuel. You start out with 1 canister of fuel and a wrench that you can use to defend yourself, but more importantly to repair some parts of the elevator, because it does get damaged a bit every time you descend, so you have to explore the floors in order to get more fuel and more wrenches. And you also have to descend further and further, as that is part of your sentence, but you cannot skip too many floors at once, otherwise you will run out of fuel very quickly and the elevator will eat you instead. So stopping on as many floors as possible and explore thoroughly is a necessity. The game does adjust the experience when you are just by yourself. For example, actions like freeing yourself from a bear trap or defusing a mine take considerably less time than if you were playing with other people. Still, should you die, it is actually over, whilst in multiplayer your teammates could revive you, although that is very costly. Each floor has its own hazards and challenges. Some of them have some kind of imposter that's trying to steal your stuff and sabotage you, but regular enemies exist as well. Some of the rooms have some kind of storm going on or other obstacles, but thankfully some floors have a shop. This is where you can buy items with bottles. Bottles are the game's currency. Now there's also this anomaly. It's called SAMOSBOR or SAMOSBOR. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but it kills everyone in its path and basically forces you to retreat to your elevator, as Kletka is the only thing that will protect you from it. When the screen starts to shake and you hear some kind of rumbling, then it is certainly time to run back to Kletka. But in general, it is important to know that at least in the current state, this is a game where you start again and again with a fresh character after dying. Since death is very much game over here, you definitely are not supposed to make it through all 100 floors at your first attempt, so don't get too frustrated. If you're up for a challenge, then yes, I had fun in this game so far, playing solo. And this is it. If your time was respected, I very much appreciate a like or a comment.